Okay, so did you get a chance to go through the yesterday recordings into the setup part?
No, Pari. We'll do it again. And I'll do it again.
Mati, don't play with your book.
No, Pari, even I will do it in the weekend actually.
Mommy. So what we are going to, so yesterday we saw what is Apache Kafka and how to set up the Kafka and how to publish the data and consume the data, right? So we use the Kafka clients, which is offered in Python programming. So we use Kafka producer, Python Kafka producer and consumer, all right? So when it comes to PySpark structure streaming, so we are going to use Kafka as a source as well as sink. Okay, so if they think if the system or there is a system who's publishing the data into Kafka in a streaming manner, so how do you consume those data in a streaming manner and process it? So in that case, so you use Kafka as a source. So for that, your Spark structure streaming acts as a consumer application. Okay. Okay. So when it Kafka as a source, it reads the data from Kafka, consuming the data from the Kafka topic. Okay, so reading data from Kafka means we just consume the data from the Kafka topic. So in the Spark structure streaming, it compatible with the Kafka broker version of 0.10.0 or IR version. So yesterday we tried as installation documents, it's given for the Kafka 2.6.0. So it does also supports. In general, at least whatever I gone through, the messages which comes in Kafka, right? So yesterday also we tried to, in the command line consumer, we tried to publish a free text message. But when we try to do the Python Kafka producer and consumer, so in the producer, we prepare the JSON structure of the message and we publish, right? So in general, in Kafka topic, the messages are flown in the format of JSON or CSV or Avro format. Avro is one of the optimized file format, okay, used in the big data system. So you will see the messages being published on these different formats. So Spark structure streaming provides the APIs or methods to parse those messages coming in these formats and will help us to process the data, okay, in a streaming manner. So we saw in Spark structure streaming, socket streaming and file streaming earlier. So which does not need any external jars or dependencies to be added, because that is part of your PySpark library. But in case of Kafka, so we need to add this dependency. So that means you need to, you can just in a simple term, you need to have the connector jars, the Sparks, Kafka Spark streaming connector jars you should have. So how do you get it? So basically, those jars are available. Either you can download manually, or there is a Maven build tool which has a repository. They have the jars, so you just have to give this group ID, artifact ID, and version, so that your based on this artifact ID passed, so if the system Spark will be able to download the jars. Okay, so this is our these three are very important. Okay, so if you write a PySpark program and trying to connect from the either batch API or through streaming API. If you are trying to read it from Kafka, you will not be able to use it until you have these jars. Okay, I will tell you how to do that. So, so you can think of as this is a source, which is a Kafka source where a topic has data. So our Spark streaming is going to read the data in a micro batches and process and show it on the destination. So it can be anything. So for debugging purpose, we use control sinks generally. So in the first example, we are going to see the JSON message format, which we saw yesterday. And then we'll see both the CSV format as well as the Avro format of messages. Okay, so I will show you the example. Okay, so when you run this program, okay, there are a couple of ways you can provide this artifact details to download the dependency jars, which is a Kafka connector, Kafka Spark Streaming Kafka connector. Okay, one is by specifying the while creating a Spark session object, you can actually say Kafka, Spark session object config parameter. You can pass spark.jars.packages and you can pass this. So basically, initially there will be a group ID followed by artifact ID followed by the version. That's what we saw here. These three information: group ID, artifact ID, and the version. Right. So this is one way. This is only work for only this program when you run this program. If you want to do globally, so you can go to the Spark installation folder. So we go to the home and softwares. Spark installation folder and go to config, and you will have this Spark default spark-default.conf. Right here you can specify. Sorry. So here you can just say spark.jars.packages. You can just give the tab separator and provide your group ID, then followed by artifact ID and followed by version. So this will download the jars globally for you. So you don't need to do for every program you run. So if you want to just for your program alone, so you want to download, you can pass this way. And one more method is, see, we run this application from we run this application, Spark application from PyCharm IDE. There is other, I think, I don't know whether I told you or not. You can run your PySpark using a Spark Submit command line utility. So if you go here, Spark Submit. So this is a Spark Submit command line utility where you can submit your Spark jobs to the cluster. Same, you need to specify your master URL, deployment mode, and your jar. So in case of if you are any external jars, if you want to place, you need to have a jar. Okay, for application name also you can pass it from here. This is for the Scala-based Spark application. You need to provide a class name. For PySpark, there is no need to provide. And you see there's a packages. This is the one where you need to provide that Maven dependencies for downloading your Spark connectors. So we will use one example. We'll try with a couple of examples. We'll try with this also. Okay, so that is the one thing. So important thing is you should take care is before running your code, you should make sure that how you are going to provide the Spark the Kafka dependencies, right? Or Kafka PySpark connector details. Okay, now we'll start with the. So it is going to be same as like what we saw in the earlier example of PySpark streaming, importing the packages and then creating the Spark session object. So extra, we are providing the dependency details here. And then, so whenever we read from any source, which you want to consume as a Spark structure streaming, so you say spark.read stream. And for file stream, we just use the file format, right? And we provide the options like a path, other details, and load. Similarly, same thing. So spark.read stream format, you are going to give the Kafka, right? This will work once the application has the Spark's structure streaming and Kafka connectors. And when you want to read from a Kafka topic, what you need a Bootstrap server, which is a localhost colon 9092. That's what I prepared in this variable. And topic, I just have order events. Let's create the order events topic. I will just. Okay, so Kafka is here. I just create an order events topic. Order events topic is created. In this way, I'm going to publish the data. Okay. So what data I'm going to publish? So whatever we saw yesterday, the open this one. So yesterday I was publishing this data to the test topic one. Instead, I will publish to the order events. The sample data which we cooked up yesterday, which we discussed yesterday, all this is basically whenever you make online transaction, for purchasing some product. So your order details are captured in any databases, operational databases. So that data we want to publish it to the Kafka topic. So that is the idea. Even so, take any e-commerce site. So they do like this. So one type of the one is making a transaction and putting the transaction details in the operation database like RDBMS, and a couple of information they pass it to the Kafka like messaging layer. So that's a kind of scenario we have to put. So once we publish this message, this Kafka topic, we are consuming in the Spark structure streaming. So while consuming it, you need to provide the bootstrap server and topic, and the starting off set as latest. So whatever the message comes to the topic, that will be consumed. Okay, and so when the data is retrieved from the Kafka topic, so the data frame, right, it's going to give the streaming data frame, which will have a column like key, value, and topic, partition, offset, and timestamp. So this will, your messages, even the message is a flat structure like order ID, product name. When it comes from when you read it from Kafka topic, the entire the message will be in a value column. Okay, so it will not have the flattened structure in your data frame. So what you need to do is you need to parse this value column. Just a minute. So you need to parse this value column and then flatten your columns. Okay. So for that, what we have is, so, and I will, anyway, I'm printing the schema of this. You will see what are the column types. So basically the column type, a value column is basically a byte array. So you need to convert it to string, right? So that's what we did in a Kafka, a Python consumer. We tried to do the decoding as a string. So here also we have to do. So here in Spark structure streaming, so you can select the columns. So this is a data frame, and you are going to select a couple of columns. So I'm interested only in the value column because that has the only message. And the timestamp, I'm just taking it. So while picking the value column, I'm going to typecast it from bytes. So if you want to make it as a string, you can just say value as a string. This is a SQL expression, right? So it will actually convert that column into string. So once you have a string column, now there is a function called from JSON, because this this value column contains is basically a string representation of your JSON message. So we need to parse this JSON message and make the each field into column and a data frame. So this is the JSON string format of your JSON representation. So we need to make this into columns. So for that, we use the first we need to pass the JSON message. For that, we use from JSON. So again, the data frame dot select of from JSON. The column name is value, comma. You have to provide the schema. This is very important. Without the schema, the from JSON will not be able to extract the JSON message. So we know how to create a schema. Schema equal to whatever the message structure is, the structure you have to create a schema. So basically, it's a list of okay. So generally, what we do is we create a list of a struct type with the list of struct fields we create. That's one way. This is also one way to create a schema. So struct type dot add. So this will add all the columns and create it. Just a minute. So, so we just add this all the columns. So basically, when what we did generally earlier we did is we create a list of stuck fields. So this is going to act as a one stuck field. So stuck type of you keep adding your columns like order ID, product name, like that. So once you prepare the schema, so what we are going to do, we just pass it to this function, and this will create a stuck type column. Okay, so from the string format, since we use the from JSON, it is going to parse the JSON and convert that column as a stuck field. Okay, so something like this. Okay, so then what happens is we are going to convert. So if we have a stuck field column, the stuck type column, right? The columns type is a stuck type. So if you want to flatten your columns and make as a data frame, you can use a dot operator and a star. So all the columns becomes all the fields becomes column in a data frame. So order underscore data frame 3 will have a flatter structure of your data. Okay. So let me run and show you so that you will have a better understanding. And finally, we just write that into console sync, the raw data. And also I'm just doing a simple aggregate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group by country and city. So we saw in earlier the data frame operations. So group by, we use columns, and you have to use ag method to pass the aggregate function. And finally, you select your list of columns you want. And this data frame 4, the flattened data frame also I'm printing in the console, and also aggregated data frame also I'm printing in the console. Okay. So any question? Anyway, I will run and show you, so you will have better understanding. So, but still, you have any other question? Okay, all right. So let me run. First, I'll run the producer. I'll run this Spark test. So see this is the original the streaming data frame column. So you see this value column is a binary column, which is a byte array. So we are flattening like this, and you will see the final data frame. Okay. Now I will pass some few messages. Just make some. So it is going to so in the first batch there is no data retrieved. What is the batch interval, trigger interval I said? I said 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds it will start processing the data. So see here, this is the raw format, right? and this is the aggregated format. Like it's just I'm finding the order amount for combination of country and city. So this is the raw format. So aggregate. So every 5-second micro batch, this will print the raw format of data frame, the flattened data frame, as well as the aggregated data frame. I hope this is clear. Let me know if you have any queries. Okay, so I'll just stop this, and also I will stop. I think this producer is also I will stop. I'll clear off. Right. This, close this. Now I will show you the second example, how the CSV format of JSON. So only one difference, nothing major. So the same program, the only difference is instead of from JSON, which we saw in the JSON format, here we are using a from CSV, because I'm going to publish this CSV message. So the comma separated, all the value which I prepared, I'm going to send it as a comma separated value. So this I'm publishing it to the different topics so that I don't mess up with this. So I will just close this order events. Here test topic I'm using it, and then just instead of dictionary we just used to add in the here. Finally we added to the list each column value, and finally comma separated value we are sending it. That's what we do in this producer program. Consumer program, so the important thing is from CSV we are using it. The schema, sorry, schema we are actually creating like this. Schema string, so the column is order ID, which is an integer, product name, which is a string. So we need to provide like this for the CSV. If the message is coming in a comma separated value, so you provide a schema in this format. You just comma separated of all your column name with the data types. Okay, so if it is a numerical column, you use double data type. So remaining thing is same, nothing changes. Only one change. So I am publishing it to the test topic. So let me create a test topic. Just come here. This is done. I'll just go here, run my streaming application. So this is also every 5 seconds I'm going to process the trigger interval as 5 seconds. So it says failed to download. Okay, I will add this because I think this here it's not added. I will connected dependency details are not ordered there. I'll just copy from here. Before after the master URL. Now I'll run this. Okay, so I will also go and publish some data. I think it's only 10 data, I guess. See here, this is a comma separated value I'm publishing. So it is going to consume the data, comma separated data, and then we'll do that aggregate. So I think here also I'm doing aggregate. Yeah, this is a simple aggregate. I think it did not pick the previous published value. So I'll go and publish some more message. So it started publishing messages. We'll wait for another 5 seconds to get the next batch. Yeah, it got that. But I'm just printing only the aggregated data file. So this is also done. Okay, the only difference from the previous program and this is, since this is coming as a comma separated value, you have to use the from CSV function and provide your schema. From CSV function, provide a schema. So remaining thing is same. Okay, for the simplicity sake, I just kept both are same program except these things. Okay, I will stop this. I will also stop this. Now we'll see one more message format, which is Avro. Okay, so here again, you will see the apart from Kafka dependency details. So this is for Kafka connectors details. You also need to provide the Avro Spark connector details as well. So that dependency also we need to provide here for Avro. Okay. So if you want to see how the Avro file look like, so basically you will not see the. Okay, so this is the schema for your Avro. Okay, but Avro file look, it's a binary. Sorry, it will be a binary format. So, but you need to provide the schema like this. Okay. So I'm going to you need to define a Avro schema in this format. So basically, a namespace you can just give some name here. Data making.avro I'm just giving, and type it should be record, and the name of your data which is going to represent is the orders. So I'm just give orders, and the fields you need to define, right? So it's almost similar like JSON format only. Okay. So in the fields you have to provide all the columns which you are going to publish it. So let's see the Avro producer. Same. Okay, so here also I'm using test topic. Instead, I will use the test topic one. I'll go and change it in the Avro streaming application also. I will create the test topic one. So we have only 1 minute left. we'll stop here, and we'll start in the another session. I'm just stopping this. Please use the same link and join back.